Hey Quinn, there is a Renaissance fair here locally, and I made a costume. A lot of costumes. Tons of costumes. Yay! I volunteered for a local Renaissance fair, and it was a fabulous experience. Some Ren fairs are more historical and some are more fantastical, but there are generally elements of both in each. I've seen a Roman centurion at a Ren fair before. I feel like that's not exactly the Renaissance. That's, I don't know. I'm really understanding within a 2 to 300 year window. If someone dressed up as an ancient Sumerian, though, I have to be honest, I think that would be really lit. Anyway, I volunteered for this Ren Fair and wanted to make myself a costume. It can get so expensive. It can get so expensive so fast. Cinderella, just to make her dress, cost thousands of dollars, and they probably bought wholesale. It was 2,000 yards of fabric. And I mean that is a top of the line gorgeous performance quality dress. So I figured I could make mine for about $30.
I did pitch Olga the Mermaid, but the mushroom people won out in the end, especially since I watched a friend of mine make her hat and it looked very achievable. I didn't realize that mushrooms are the thing. They're everywhere. They're literally everywhere. Now I just need a name.
I decided my name should be Bolita Edulis. Like Bolitas Edulis, but Bolita, because I'm a mushroom lady.
This is Boletus adulis, or the penny bun, as it were. I love the cone, organic looking shape of this mushrooms, and apparently it really is edible. There's a guy actually trying to eat them and not dying. Also,
I am sitting here in my car waiting to pick up my boys from school. I've had long COVID for the last 20 days and have not been able to smell anything. I am starting to be able to smell things, and I am realizing something is not right in this car. Oh man. Are you kidding me? What is it? It's a vegetable of some kind, I think.
I feel like Edgar Allan Poe would just love whatever this is. Speaking of children, these are mine watching the flagrant hussies who come into our yard and eat my husband's garden. Fortunately, the garden is doing well, even while being food for all the local deer. We do have spearmint, bachelor's button, whatever that is, roses, sunflowers, and hollyhocks. These are actually the seeds that mom sent me, and I love them. I love them so much. Anyway, let's take a second to talk you through the actual costume, this skirt and hat that I made for the Renaissance Fair. I did not actually take any footage of me sewing. I know, sorry. But I can reverse walk you through what I did. I chose this fabric. I love these embroidered sundials. They are so pretty and just Byzantine in their luxury. And I loved it. I loved the texture of it. I love the gold contrasting with that burgundy color. And the drape of this fabric is just so light and airy, and it looked perfect for a skirt to me. I decided to do a drop yoke waist, which meant that it's that little, ignore that. Yes, okay. You know what? Self-taught from YouTube. Anyway, these are all of the pleats that I put in and attached to the bottom side of this lined yoke waist with literally just a stitch. When I gather, I use yarn because it just doesn't break, and I use fewer Irish swears. By the way, my favorite Irish swear is by Saint Booger and all the souls on the back door to purgatory. Love it. Anyway, the fabric here is gold and nicely textured as well, and just really complemented the other. This is the fabric that I got from the random lady who was selling something from a storage unit. I love her. I love these ruffles now that they're done. Ruffles in the making are kind of like spinach. They're just not glorious. But you feel better once you've done them and once you've sewn them around the entire length of your gigantic poofy skirt. They do provide a lot of body and a lot of texture to the bottom of the piece. And I will acknowledge that having them around the entire bottom of the skirt is actually really cute now that it's done. At the time, I kind of wanted to flip a table. However, maybe that's just me being impatient and not fault of the ruffles. On the back of this skirt, very frequently I'll donate my costumes to the children's theater that I sew for. And so I made it a cinch waist, which I just put belt buckles on the back and then put a tie through all of those buckles. So now it can fit at a variable waist. So it can go down to someone much smaller than I am, or expand out to be the maximum length of whatever the skirt is. So it's very versatile, very light and airy, and I think will be a really good fit for the Renaissance Fair in general. Don't mind me, I'm just a mushroom lady here to frolic through my front room, twirling and swirling in the. Okay, look at that twirl though. Look at how cool that is, how it crunches. That's what I mean by excellent drape. It looks so floofy. This is completely without a petticoat. It can stretch almost my arm's length up. It does come a little bit short, definitely not both ways. But you know what? I loved having the floof and wrinkle and push of this. Every time I wear this t-shirt, I get asked what motorcycle I ride. It's a Shadowfax 3000. This hat I made in conjunct with this t-shirt just screams mushroom Jason Bourne. So this is me doing Jason Bourne things, except the camera is not shaky enough and I'm not stabbing someone in the eye. Let's talk the hat, which I also did not film myself making. I didn't know I would be making a video for this. Okay. It came out really well and I'm very pleased with it.
She is the most beautiful creature I ever beheld.
More importantly, it really just works with the ensemble that I'm going for the costume. So let's take a look at how it's made on the inside. First note, ta-da! This is about my hand's width and made of cardboard on the inside. So very simple material. This is the headspace that I just stuffed with extra white fabric that I made from the gills. There's a cross in there that keeps it sitting on my head so that it doesn't just go all the way into the mushroom. I did pleat all of these gill thingies by hand using a good glue gun and then just wrapped the top fabric over and glued it in place. As you can see, I hid my sins with leaves, yay, where there were particularly bad blots, and it also just made it look very woodsy and foresty. Oh, this hat does fit better one way than another though. There we go. Perfect. Ta-da! It looks so cool. It still boggles me just a little bit how cute this hat came out. I'm so pleased with it.
This is a corset I bought online for $10, and this is a shirt I bought at a Dillard sale also for $10. So $20 total, the most expensive part of a costume. Let's just run the numbers really quick. Ta-da! Helps to have a fabric hoard. Just saying.
Took a break to pet le chat, as they say in France, and to fold Frederick Wentworth, my gigantic sock pile, because he went the way of all socks, and it was worth it after much folding. Also worked on a draft of a play, which was glorious, and in some very, very necessary cleaning with Pin Gremlin.
A little boy planted a carrot seed.
It's a carrot seed.
It is a little carrot seed.
And then I made garbanzo bean ice cream.
Shout out to Lori from My Quiet Kitchen. Cooking gluten-free, dairy-free is no joke.
Which you make actually by soaking beans and then putting together a chocolate roux, essentially, as it were. It's cocoa powder and a whole bunch of other ingredients. There's a link to Labria Tarpritz. They're not actually Labria tar pits, just full disclosure. It just looks like that when you're boiling and you can pretend to be a dinosaur. Then you pull your beans into your blender and add some milk and things and nut butter. It looks horrible. It looks like boogers anyway, and sand and salt. I mean, that's at least looks relatively normal, but the other bit looked like boogers. I do add some cayenne pepper. This was not in the original recipe, but that is definitely what I put in whenever I make something chocolatey, just for a little bit of depth. Then you blend it a lot and milk chocolate, and of course put that in. It was so chocolatey. It was just I cannot emphasize how much chocolate Labria tar pits added to the recipe. It was so lush and thick and delicious. And then you get to pour it in your little container until it gets to the appropriate line. Ta-da! And put it in the refrigerator. Oh. Also, I painted a table. With all that hard work and preparation, let's take a second to see how my husband is preparing for the Renaissance Fair the night before at 11 o'clock. Oh, look, he sewed a perfectly historical tunic using a wool blanket. Oh. Anyway, not only did I make a costume for myself as Bolite Julis, but also for my daughter, who played Taraxacum Originale and helped a ton at the actual event. I'm so grateful we actually got to put these costumes in action. This is the final product. Oh, look how mushroomy I am. So mushroomy. I also painted this, in case you were wondering.